self-assessment and thinking about what you're doing is critical. But if you think about things that are not important, that are trivial, which is self-judgment, which we can all do, that's destructive.
Hello everybody, this is Alex Iles. He is a book full of information that is going to expand your mind. We are very honored to have him here today.
So what you want to do is to occupy yourself so you don't have that opportunity. And that to me is really what the best kind of practice is. It can take any form depending on the way you like to work. There's lots of different ways you can do that. Everybody's a little bit different on how they like to practice, but I think anytime you can find a way to keep that little devil on your shoulder occupied, that translates into performance as well. Because a lot of people have that judgment when they perform, and it's because they've been practicing that way. They've been practicing with so much judgment that that's all they have going into that performance or that audition or whatever it is they want to do, or recording session. So you get rid of the judgment as much as you can. You have to, it's emotions too tie into it, and self-perception. Like I said, you have to assess yourself and be honest. And you have to have points of comparison to a standard. You can't judge yourself necessarily on that day.
It's a fine line, really.
It really is. And also the idea of progress over perfection, I think, is really helpful when people are practicing. If they adopt that attitude.
Okay.
And also the idea of practice and performance being interchangeable words. I like a long time ago, I mentioned how practice, the way that doctors practice it or Buddhists practice, meditators practice their craft, is not away from their craft. They practice it by doing it. I think musicians can learn a lesson from that, in that every time you practice, if you think when you're practicing you're performing, or you're performing you're actually practicing, they become kind of one and the same. And you prepare yourself accordingly.
Welcome to the third episode of Bone Masters, where we get to meet living trombone legends, hear them play, have masterclasses, and talk about music. This week we feature the wonderfully talented Alex Iles on his first appearance ever on Bone Masters.
Hey everybody, Paul here. Thanks for tuning into the third episode of Bone Masters. Alex, that was great, man. What a tone he has, and this man is filled with knowledge, so we're really looking forward to having him back on the show. He will be back for a lot more episodes. I also want to give out a huge shout out to my patrons. The donations that they have been giving us will get split up amongst all these wonderful musicians that are being featured on the show. So if you'd like to get involved as a patron of the show, it's only $1, and you get your name on the end credits, you get access to MP3s, you get some arrangements, you get all kinds of cool stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Alright, I know what I'm talking about, I think. The next episode, we're going to have the virtuoso Bob McChesney in the studio, so you're not going to want to miss that one. That is something you will not want to miss. And remember, you can tune a piano, but you cannot tune a fish.
Hello, everybody. You can tune a fish. Fish, 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 fish.
Timmy.
Fish, 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 fish. Not a piano,
Timmy.
piano. Whip, 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 whip.
Timothy, you never cease to amaze me. You're always coming up with the real treasure chest of words.